Chat's been on fire. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank all you.
Thank
we
you, everybody,
appreciate
man.
you guys. Chat's been crazy.
You guys have been awesome. Thank you, Majucel. Thank you,
Cassandra.
Cassandra.
I got
Magic.
No, Cassandra, not
It's
Cassandra.
Cassandra.
Oh,
It's
shit.
Cassandra McKenna.
Though she needs a song also, but it's not Cassandra.
I thought you were going to say Cassandra Magic. Wow.
Yo, he said
Casado was not here. Casado was not here.
Wow. Ah, yes, whether it's a beer, a shot, or even a glass of wine, grab your favorite beverage and welcome to the Level 857 Video Game Podcast. Today, we are your host, Algie857.
The 23rd Stallion.
Stikz.
And your boy Big Choco. What up?
And tonight, we have a very, very special guest. CEO of the intellivision Amico.
Oh, yes.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yes.
When he plays games, he prefers co-op.
2
at a time. These. Welcome back, Tommy Tallarico.
What's good?
Hey,
Welcome back.
boy, I'm ready to rock out that.
Yeah, man. So we.
Smash JT in the house. He said, this better not Damn.
What up, Smash?
What's going on,
on?
Smash?
What's good, Lance? What's good, everybody?
How's it going?
Yeah, man.
Rockin'.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't talked to you guys in a
Yeah,
while.
It's been a bit.
It's been too long.
It's been a bit.
It's been a bit. A lot has been going on with Intellivision, let me tell
I
you.
bet.
Woo!
Yes,
I bet, man. I'm excited.
You've been following.
Yeah, man.
But first, we talk
Yeah.
about the games we've been playing for the week. Are we?
Nah.
So I'm interested to know what Amico games Tommy's been playing.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to know what I've
Yeah.
been playing on this beauty? Ooh.
Oh man, that's the one I pre-ordered.
Oh,
That's a new color.
I like that.
I want that.
That's
I want that.
That's the Heart Foundation one.
Oh, that's dope.
I like that.
it's, and there's a purple controller.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I've been playing, this is my personal dev kit. I've been playing a lot of Astro Smash and Skiing and Rigid Force Redux Enhanced and Shark and Missile Command and Biplanes is amazing. Evil Knievel. I've been playing all that stuff
Nice.
like crazy. So we had a big public demo, our first public showing to the public for Amico. And what I did was I set up at the National Video Game Museum in Frisco, Texas on Friday. And we also had some YouTubers there as well who lived in the area. Cyrus Martin, Brett Weiss, who's a big retro author of the NES books, best NES books on the market, in fact. Brett Weiss. And Craig Screw Attack from Screw Attack was there. We even had Jeremy Sneed there. He was the director and executive producer and writer of that epic Nintendo documentary, 5-hour documentary that just came out. It was called Playing with Power, the Nintendo story. I was in that. I was interviewed in that documentary as well. So all these folks who were like in the Dallas area had a chance to come down, play it for the first time, but we had set up so that we could see the general public come in. Families, moms, dads, non-gamers, grandparents, and they were all playing it, and we filmed the whole thing. So we're going to come out with a really epic trailer on this Friday, probably this Friday. If not Friday, then Monday morning, but one of those two, either Friday morning or Monday morning. It's going to be a brand new trailer of what people saw and what they thought about it. And these aren't paid actors. They're not, these are just people off the street playing it for the first time, never heard about Amico ever before. And again, I also have some of the folks who have been following us for, over a year. And it was really interesting because I asked the folks, I said, the people who've been following Amico, and they I said, look, you got to be honest with me here. Don't pull my chain or anything. Like, you're my friends. You can tell me. I'm not gonna, go home with my head down, you know, crying or whatever. You know, if there's stuff that you're concerned about after playing it, let me know. Maybe we can fix it. Maybe we, you know, so tell me. You got to be honest with me. You're my friends or whatever. And here's what they told me before, as they're walking in, and I'm, you know, giving them this speech. I said, you got to tell me everything. And they said, look, they said, here's our concern. Our concern is that you've hyped this thing so much, and we are so excited about it. Hearing your passion, hearing you talk about it, we're so excited that we're worried that there's no possible way it could ever live up to the hype that you've been giving it and how excited we are for the last year. And that's our concern, is that, you know, you've hyped it up so much and we're so excited. And I said, fair enough, fair comment. Afterwards, everyone said the same thing across the board. They said, Tommy, as much as you hyped it up, it exceeded our expectations on every level, shape, and form. So you know that crappy expression. I hate this expression where they said, well, you know, it's like a thing that people say. They say, you know, you should like under promise and over deliver. You know, I always hated that phrase. It's like, so what? You set the bar low so that you can, like, you know, get a little higher than the screw that. My saying that I always say is overhype and over deliver. So that's what happened with this. It happens with Video Games Live. Same thing. Like I hype up Video Games Live. It's an orchestra. It's live things. It's music. It's lasers, beams, and video, synchronized video, and the crowd goes crazy and they're crying in the aisle. It's the greatest thing. Music experience, fun, and people are like, there's no way it could live up to your hype. And then they watch it like, holy crap, it was even better. I couldn't believe it. So that was very cool for me. And I said, look, if you could change anything, give me something. You got to give me something. And there was literally nothing. Wow. You know, very cool. So we were real excited. So friends who would be honest with me had zero to say it, and they were over delivered. And then for the people who had never played it before, little kids, moms, non-gamers, grandparents, they came in playing it, loved it, freaking out, everything that I've said we want it to be. Now, look, this isn't the first time I've done this. It's the first time I did it in public. But over the last year and a half, we've done tons of focus groups. We've done tons of, we're not spending millions and millions of dollars over here on a hunch. You know what I mean? Like, so we know that this thing is, that people love it, that non-gamers love it, that casual gamers love it, that hyper-casual gamers love it, that retro gamers love it, and even hardcore gamers, when they pick up and play it, what everybody was saying, I said, what was the thing that surprised you the most? They said two things. The two things that surprised us the most. The second thing was that how easy it was to pick up and play and how everybody could easily pick it up and play it. They said, Tommy, we've heard you talk about it for 2 years, but to see that in action and to see it was unbelievable. But they said the number one thing that they loved that took them by surprise the most was how amazing and comfortable the controller was and how unique it was. Because they said that was their biggest thing. Because you look at this and you go, how the hell am I going to play Call of Duty?
It's like a cell phone. It looks like an old cell phone.
Yeah, from the 2000s.
An iPad or something. An old iPod. And you say, how am I going to play Call of Duty? And you know what the answer is? You're not. You're not. It wasn't made for that. But when people put this in their hands and they start to see the way we've designed the way you move and the vehicles and the touch screen and incorporating these big giant buttons and all that, when people start to see that and they play it for the first time and how comfortable it fits in your hand and how you're fingers just slide in like butter, and the buttons are so cool, and the touch screen is so responsive, and there's zero lag in the controls, and how beautiful and reactive it is. That's when they said that was the thing that really blew them away was how incredible the controller was, because they weren't sure, which is a fair comment, because it's hard. I could explain it for 3 hours until you put it in your hand and you see it and you interact with it. Then you got.
I think that's the biggest barrier for everyone on the other side thinking about how to play, because like for hardcore gamers or just people who play normal, like the Call of Duties and Maddens and stuff like that, when they see something like this controller or anything like that, first thing they say is, I can't play with that because I'm not playing the games that I play.
Right.
And they don't put it into their head that, okay, I'm not going to be able to play the games that I want to play on there, so it might not be the thing that I want to look at. And maybe I should just leave it to people who want to play it like that.
Right. And to add to that also is that you can't look at a controller and say it's going to be uncomfortable. You have to hold the controller. You have to hold it. Look at the N64 controller, one of the most hideous controllers ever made, but people swear by the N64 to this day as one of their favorite systems.
But I would think, right?
But even me, though.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, too, is that, like, it's one of those things where, that's going to be really important for us to get that message across. Mall tours, in-store demos. You think about, because I understand why everyone would think that way. I totally understand. I totally appreciate it. I'm not saying, oh, they're wrong. No, I get it. I remember the first time I saw the Wii. I'm like, I hate the name. The controller's stupid. Right? And then when you play it and you see your mom playing it and laughing, and I'm like, wow, I get it now. Like, look at my mom's the fact that my mom wants to play video games with me is just incredible. So I understand people's apprehension, but again, that's why I'm so excited and passionate about this whole thing, because I know when people put it in their hand and they start to move with this and they see how it moves and how the 64 points of articulation, way better than an 8-point D-pad, 8-position D-pad. And when people see it, and when you're moving around 360 with a fish, and you're seeing the animations and the way it flows, like in a game like Shark, or you're skiing down a hill and you're kind of going like this, left to right, and it's making all these super subtle movements. It really is something. So that's what I'm most excited about, is people getting it in their hands.
I have a question. A big frustration for me personally is with Nintendo Switch. With the Nintendo Switch, when you're trying to do multiplayer, a lot of times when we try to set up controllers, especially third-party controllers, it's always like it takes us like 20 minutes just to set up everything, and then sync everything in there.
Syncing the controller.
It was always a headache. It still is. It still is a headache.
So check this out. You turn now. This has our firmware on it right now, the hardware firmware. So you turn it on, goes Amico, and then watch. Oh wait, shoot! I got to do this. Oh, it's searching. Oh, damn it! I can't, because it's funny. There's a ton of Amicos in the area, so it's trying to get to somebody else's Amico. So I turn that off. But that's how quick it is. It's just and so. And people will say, well, wait, if I have 2 Amicos in the house, is it going to get confused? No, it's just the way we're testing our stuff right now is that we've taken that off the firmware for the controller for now, so that any controller can connect to any system. That's the way we're doing it now, as we're testing all the things, because one programmer might go across the hall and want to try his controller with somebody else's machine. So we've taken all the... Eventually what's going to happen is when you buy a machine and your controllers are married to only your console. And then when you buy new controllers, if you want to buy additional controllers, you set it up and it gets married to that machine. So if you have 2 or 3 Amicos in the house, your controller will know which machine it's married to. And so all you have to do is you turn the thing on, but boosh, and then just for Amico, and it connects to it. And you see the controller pop up on the UI. You can see, oh, Tommy's controller, boom, and it shows a little Amico controller. And where that's cool is if you download our free app and connect your mobile phone to it, it'll show a mobile device pops up. Oh, Tommy's phone, and that pops up. So you can see all of the controllers, and all you have to do is turn it on.
So do you sign in with a name, like your profile?
Yeah,
or?
like I ordered my Amico, and you have yours, obviously. Also.
No, I mean,
I'm saying, hypothetically, if I was to go to your house with my Amico controller, I could.
So well, check this out. So I'll show you this right now. And these aren't final graphics. These are just our test graphics. But if you can see how it says change player and continue. So as soon as I turned it on, this is now hooked up to somebody else's Amico because mine's unplugged right here. But so it's connected. Now, if I wanted to hit change player, I could have, whatever, 8 profiles or whatever. My dad might have a profile. My wife might have a profile. So I can tune in and say, oh, Tommy, if it'll say Tommy's phone, but Shannon wants to use this. She can just hit change player. And then now it's her profile on this controller on the machine. Cool. And check out how, what do you want? You a lefty? You a righty? You old school television? Are you? If you're weird and you want to do it like that, but it's really cool how quick it all moves.
That's cool. Sweet.
Now, how fast it's funny because I will always joke with the rest of Level 857. Like just the other day, I started playing some old games on the GameCube. I started playing some Fire Emblem, and I was fascinated by how quick the game started because I've been playing the new systems, and it usually takes a hot a couple of minutes to start or whatever. Yeah. And totally. So I remember you saying before in one of the other interviews that if it takes longer than like 10 seconds, it's just that's not going to happen. Yes,
that's right. No, it's still that. It's still that. Yeah, for sure. Like even the big games, and we haven't fully even optimized everything. That's kind of the last step that you do in game development, as the programmers are like trying to smash out the bugs and all that stuff. But one of the last steps is optimizing the code to get a higher frame rate and to get quicker load times. So I'll give you an example. We did an optimization on Moon Patrol, right? So Moon Patrol, which we've had up and running on our system for over a year and a half. So we did an optimization on Moon Patrol, and it was taking, and again, zero optimization so far, it was taking about 45 to 50 seconds from the time we hit go to load the game in. And again, we weren't worried about it, but it's like we haven't optimized. After the first optimization, it now loads in 9 seconds.
Oh, wow. There we go.
So that's the kind of, so again, and another question that people ask, because now, because we have our back-end store up and running and all that stuff, and we're running all the tests on that. So people say, well, okay, how long does it take to download a game like Moon Patrol, right? Which has 10 full levels, plus levels in between, plus full, 15 songs of high quality 16-bit, 48 kilohertz stereo audio, not MP3s here. We want the full experience. How long does that take and how big is it? The files is about 600K right now. So depending on your Wi-Fi, you're talking about it takes 30 seconds to a minute to download a game, and about anywhere from 5 seconds to 15 seconds to load it up.
That's quick,
right?
Yeah.
Can't argue that.
No argument there. That's cool.
Yeah, because nowadays I can turn on my system and then not my Xbox, because my Xbox is fast, but but I turn on my PS4 and like when the jet turbine turns on, I'm like, all right, let me go do something real quick and then go back to it.
But it was Avengers?
I was just about to say that.
That's a minute and a half.
And that was a ridiculous thing move your save from the PlayStation 4 to PS5, they have some adjustments to do.
Oh, that was just like that was like my entire day, pretty much. I mean,
and I was like, you got to play another game while your game loads the update to play the game, and then you got to wait for the update after the update.
Yeah,
and then you got to.
Dude, how mad was I getting? I was like, they just released Hawkeye. Oh, I like Hawkeye. Let me see if I can mess with this. Oh no, you got to transfer this. You got to transfer this. Oh, you got to wait for this. You got. Oh my God, I'm gonna kill.
You have at least we have another game to play while you're waiting.
I was like, you better watch Disney Plus.
Yeah. I mean, some people all they have is that one system, man.
I got news for you. You're going to get an HDMI splitter. You're going to load up your PlayStation 5, realize that your firmware upgrade is going to take 40 minutes, and you're going to hit HDMI 2 and get your Amico going, and you're going to be playing Amico while the PlayStation's uploading the firmware. That's what's going to happen.
It'll be a drag race.
You're going to forget about the PlayStation 5 and just think, yeah, I'm good.
Imagine that.
Hey, that's
you know what we should do? We should do that.
I've done that before. I went to the movies and said, we got to go over here. And we stayed at the store and missed the movie. I was like, damn. It's terrible.
We're going to do that. We're going to make a video on a console drag race.
No, to be honest, that's actually a good idea. That's actually a good idea.
Console drag race.
When Amico's release, we'll just have every single system, current system. How long does it take to start a game?
Everyone.
And to the Switch's credit, the Switch takes very quick to start games. That's why I like playing the Switch. And
depends.
Updates
are always.
And the funny thing is, the updates aren't too bad on the Switch. Like I'm never sitting there for a hot 20 minutes. I've never sat there that long. And that's why I've played that more often. And I've been wanting to start Ghosts of Tsushima, and I'm like, damn, I know I can't just play it. I know something's gonna happen. I know it's gonna be an update or something's gonna have to fucking load, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna be like, all right, let me just play something that's quicker.
You're all set.
I guarantee I'm not.
Yeah, I don't have the patience.
I know I'm not.
I don't have the patience either for it.
And I heard the game was awesome. So
that's why I always put my PlayStation in rest mode.
Yeah.
So when I turn it back on, I could just turn it like right on and just keep going.
I've been playing
with the Avengers. Dude, the load time on the PS4 is bad.
It's out of control.
It's fast now on PS5.
Dude.
PS5 is super fast.
Screw that, man.
Yeah, the Series X is super fast too.
I like Retro Advisory Board. He says your Amico is your hors d'oeuvre console.
And I've never seen hors d'oeuvre spelled out in my life.
As they say in Europe or Italy, they call it an aperitif. An aperitif console.
A quick question, Tommy. With COVID and everything, obviously all companies have, taken a hit in terms of like coming out with stuff, and you guys had to delay. Do you find the fact that you've had to delay an actual good thing? Like maybe the fact that you guys have been able to fine tune a lot more things than you probably would have had ready, or do you think it's still kind of shitty that you guys had to move it?
It's a great question, and I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I always find the positive in everything, right? So it's like whatever you throw at us, we're gonna turn it and we're gonna make it into a positive. So so I look at COVID. Yes, I'm disappointed that people aren't playing it right now, or this weekend. Absolutely. I mean, it's devastating, right? We all work so hard to do all this stuff, and it really slowed down a lot of stuff. It slowed down game development. Why did it slow down game development? Well, because we couldn't get the dev kits in their hands when we wanted to. Why couldn't you get dev kits in their hands? Well, because we had to hand build them. Why did you have to hand build them? Because it would have taken 8 weeks to get there from China, and we didn't have, and then we had to wait for all the parts because we're hand building them in house, right? So it's all this domino effect that happens. But you guys are absolutely right. I look at it and say, you know what? We can add more things that maybe wouldn't have made it in the final thing if we came out in April. We can fine tune more games. We can add more levels. We can add more this and that and boom, bada boom, bada boom, or whatever. So it is challenging. You know what? The most challenging thing though is, think about it, guys. When we put together, 3 years ago when we first started this whole thing, and you put together your spreadsheet of, here's how much you need now from month to month, and then you're going to hire this amount of people at this time, and you have a business plan, right? And it's a spreadsheet, and you have contingencies in your business plan, usually anywhere from 10 to 15% contingency. So if you say, oh, we need to raise $10 million, you say, well, let's put a 10% contingency in there. So let's raise 11 just in case. You never know what's going to happen. I'll tell you what you don't put in there in the spreadsheet. You don't put, oh, the world's going to shut down for a year and no one can do anything in China, and it's going to be the worst economic downturn in 100 years, and it's going to be the worst unemployment since the Great Depression.
That's not in the fine print.
And so for us, the biggest challenge has been, we've now delayed it a full year, right? Supposed to come out 10/10/2020. Now it's coming out 10/10/21. Okay, well, I got news for you. We got 55 full-time employees, a 15,000 square foot building, which I'm, talking to you here in Irvine, California. Salt Lake City, Utah, we got about 10, 15 people, logistics people there, an office in Dubai, European offices in Germany, massive overhead, right? And we're a pre-revenue company. So it's not just like, yeah, we're going to delay a year. No, it's, oh, you're going to delay a year. Well, now you have to raise millions and millions more dollars to survive because you're a pre-revenue company. And so, and you have to raise that money during a time when nobody's spending money, right? So the fact that what we're doing is so difficult and challenging to begin with, right? Doing what we're doing. But to do it through this and survive and doing it great, and we're hiring people when everyone's laying people off, we're raising money when people are going out of business who've been around for 30 years. I mean, it's a bit of a modern miracle. But that's how we are. That everybody in this company. And I always say my favorite scene from any movie ever is the original Rocky, 14th round. Apollo Creed finally knocks down Rocky. His hands are in the air. Mickey says, "Down, kid, stay down." Stay down. And Adrian comes out for the first time because she didn't want to see it, but she hears the crowd. She wants to know what's going on. She sees Rocky down on the ground. She's so deflated, tears in her eyes. And what's Rocky doing? Rocky's like, he's like, hey, there is nothing that's going to keep me. And this to me is the best scene ever in a movie. He gets up, Apollo turns around, and he looks at Rocky. And Rocky does what? Yep. Come on. Come on. And Apollo just puts his hands on his waist and just goes, I do not believe this guy. He is still coming. And that's how I wake up every single day of my life. And I'm getting my ass off up the canvas. There is nothing that's going to keep me down. And you can knock me down. And I'll make mistakes, and everybody in the company here will make mistakes. We're not perfect people. We're going to get stuff thrown at us. We're going to screw some things up. But you know what we won't do? We'll never quit. And we're going to keep coming at you until this thing is out, and it's going to be, the best possible thing we can make it. So to answer your question, we're looking at this thing as a positive. More time, yes, more challenging. Guys, think about this. You might have seen some of my tweets over the last month where there's 5-foot posters in GameStop. We're up in the monitors. We're in the flyers that they put in every bag. Now think about this, guys. You've walked into GameStop for the last 20 years. You've seen dark blue for PlayStation. You've seen red for Nintendo. You've seen green for Xbox, right? When was the last time you saw a fourth hardware console manufacturer being promoted in GameStop? When's that for? You know what it was? it was orange with the Dreamcast, right?
And Neo Geo Pocket.
Yeah.
So
The end game.
about
The end game.
oh crap! Did they have the end game didn't have a section. Maybe they did. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like look at how far we've come just in the 2.5 years, 3 years that we've been doing this. We came from nothing to you can walk in a GameStop and see us, and we're right there with Sony, Microsoft. We're going to be right there with Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. It's pretty amazing to think about, what we've accomplished already. And again, people haven't even started playing it yet.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
That's sick.
Smash says, "What's a GameStop?" Smash, you know what GameStop is.
I just Smash knows.
Yeah.
You of all people
Smash
should know.
knows what GameStop is. Smash is going like counting his wallet right now. He's looking
Like,
at.
I know exactly what this is.
He's looking at his,
I'm just
he's looking on where Price Waterhouse going. Oh wow, that's a lot of zeros.
I'm just picturing Smash with a glass of wine while watching this.
Yeah,
laughing.
man.
I don't know. I know he has a glass of wine in his hand. I know he does.
In his hot
And
tub.
yes, in his hot tub. In the hot tub.
Smash doesn't have to do YouTube anymore.
Love it.
He's like,
Yes.
"Ah, I'm
Smash
just doing
is
this.
good.
I'm just
Good.
doing this when I feel like it."
I absolutely love because everybody, all the haters got on him. GameStop, you're an idiot, you're stupid, blah, same stuff we all hear, right? How great is it that he stuck with it, stuck with his guns, knew what he was doing? He's a smart guy. Let me tell you, I've had a lot of, personal conversations, friend conversations. He's, because if you just know him from his channel, you might think a certain way about, but I'm telling you, super smart guy, very intelligent, very caring dude. He's one of my favorites out there. And I'm so happy for him that, that when he made out. I'll say that, but
No,
he's great.
we love Smash, man.
Yeah,
we love
man.
having him on, man.
Smash, you got to put up your next video with wine.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Whatever you record has to have a glass, like your third glass of wine, not
Yes.
even
We
the
love
first one. Yes,
We
hell
love it,
yes.
man.
I
We love it.
With an ice
That
cream
is a
cone.
lot of
In the hot tub. In the hot tub.
out there that talk negatively. There's some YouTubers out there that talk negatively about Intellivision. They also bring the wine, but it's spelled W-H-I-N.
No, it's true. It's true. But like they say, man, they don't hate the good ones; they hate the great ones. So it's a good thing.
That is
It's a
true.
good thing.
If you
That's
ain't got
right.
no haters, you ain't popping.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. Gotta have
true.
some haters.
Yeah, hey, you know what? If you follow everything I do, bitch, you're a fan.
No, it's true. It's true. It's very true.
A confused fan, but a fan nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly. Just has a weird way of expressing it. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Like-
So, Tommy, I had a quick question for. All right, so one of the first things that got people riled up a little about the Amico was the price point, and
Yes.
you said at first was a lower price, and obviously you did some
Yeah.
upgrades with the control and everything, which caused the price to go up. Now with tech being the way it is, and tech is always constantly moving, and as time progresses, usually the technology ends up getting a little cheaper. So now that there's been a
Yeah.
delay or anything, is there a chance that the price point will come down a little, or is it stuck that way
Not now, because actually everything's
because of
going
the shortage,
up
right?
because of the shortage in the component. Sony was losing $100 on the PlayStation 5 last year, and that's public knowledge because they're a publicly traded company. You can see that. They're losing $100 a console, and that number is projected to maybe even go up another 50 to 100%. But let me explain though, because you bring up a fantastic point. Is that when we first announced Amico, again about 2.5 years ago. Well, we first announced it 3 years ago, but we did our first kind of trailer in the fall of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And in that trailer, we kind of said that, because people said, well, you have to give a price point. Is it going to be $99 or is it going to be $300? And we felt like, well, we wanted to be in between that. We didn't want to be a $99 flashback, whatever mini or whatever console. So we're not just that. So we needed to explain to people that we weren't that, but we also weren't a $300 Switch or a $400 Xbox or PlayStation. So he said we had to put something in there. So, and we had just started preliminary stuff. We hadn't picked our chip yet. We hadn't, spec'd out everything that was going to go in here. We didn't know how much memory we had in the box. We just we guessed because we had to come up with a number. And that's why we put in there. We said, you know what? 150 to 180. That's what we put in there, because we didn't say, oh, it's going to be 179. No, we didn't know. So we're like, we think that it's going to be around 150 to 180. That's what we said 2.5 years ago. That was our goal. Now, we never said, hey, this is what the manufacturer's suggested retail price is going to be. We never said that. We were just saying, this is the range we feel we're going to be in. What that told people was, by giving them that, they now could understand, oh, okay, it's not going to be a $99 Ouya. It's not going to be a $69, PlayStation emulator or a $40 Raspberry Pi or whatever. Okay, this is going to be more than those things, but it's definitely not going to be, as high as a PlayStation or next gen console, right? And so that's where we came up with those figures. Now, as we started to make the machine, and then we started to spec out and says, oh gosh, yeah, we could use plastic on this, but boy, if we used a polycarbonate, which you could drop this on the ground, you could throw it against the wall, and this isn't going to scratch. The only way you can scratch this is you take a knife to it, right? But your fingernails and anything's not going to scratch to it. So then we went then we went to a capacitive touch screen, which is the same style of screen that's on your mobile devices. Then we said, then we upgraded the memory from 16-bit to 16 gig to 32 gig, doubled that. And then and so all these things started to happen. And when people would give me the option, they said, would you prefer a lesser expensive, cheaper thing, or this high quality epic thing that's going to last forever? And to me, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, because to me, quality is something. Absolutely. Quality, and that's why I think people are so surprised and they love when they hold the controller, because they're like, wow, I can't believe how amazing this build quality is. Because this is the thing. This is the conduit to the TV, to the game. This is the soul, right? That you have to connect and control with this. And so we put a lot of R&D, a lot of the money that it costs to make Amico, more than half of it is in this. And think of the technology that's in here, right? Have you ever seen a controller that has all this stuff? Gyroscope, accelerometer, speaker, microphone, wireless contact charging, haptic feedback, capacitive color touchscreen, on and on and on, and so it goes on. And so I'm like, you know what? We got to make this great. So now, okay, but Tommy, the cost is going to go up and the retail price is going to go up. And then we spoke to our retailers, Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy, Amazon and Amazon Prime, Argos in the UK, Media Market and Saturn across Europe, the biggest and the best. And they all started to say, hey, Tommy, and they do their market research and they get back to us. And then we start showing people the machine and say, hey, how much would you pay? And what we found out is that families and non-gamers, and this is really important point, guys, families and non-gamers, they much prefer an all-in-one solution. They they said, look, we don't want to have to figure out, okay, what games should we buy here and how many controllers do we need and bum, and then accessories, plus. Look, if you just gave me one price that had kind of everything and a nice variety of games right out of the box, and it came with 2 controllers. Look, could I do Amico at $149? Absolutely, I could. And you'd get 1 controller and no games. And people, well, Tommy, why didn't you do that then? Because that's a big thing.
The co-op
because
system.
that's what our audience wants. So a hardcore gamer on a budget might want that, but you're not our target audience out of the gate, right? Our target audience wants an all-in-one solution, and that's what we delivered. And their sweet spot is that $249. Now, guys, that being said, here's the good news. So the standard unit's coming out at $249. I mean, that's just that's where it is, and that's not going to change. And then the special edition models, which cost us more to make because of the process and the even higher quality builds and the process it takes to get all these awesome finishes and stuff, those will be $279. Okay. Now, here's the good news. Is that we're keeping those prices, even though everybody else is shooting their prices higher because of components, and the components are crazy over in China right now. We're keeping those prices. Those will not change no matter what. You have my absolute word and promise. Now, the video game industry, as you know, in hardware, is a 7-year cycle, right? And even things like the Wii got extended even more because, ours is going to be extended. Ours is going to be 7 to 10 years because we're not about the fastest chip and the fastest technology. We're just about having fun. So if you look at any 7-year video game hardware cycle over the last 30 years and you compare them, you will see the exact same thing. It's a big kind of bell curve, right? Where year 1 is here, year 2 is here, but by year 3 and 4, that's where it takes off. And you can look at the PlayStation 5 now and the Xbox now, where you think, oh, last Christmas, in the month leading up, they did 4.5 million units, right? So year 1 was here. Now this year, they'll probably do 10 million, but then by year 3 and 4, that's when they're going to be doing 20, 30 million a year, right? And so when you look, it's always, so it's year 1, year 2, lift off year 3, lift off again year 4, year 5, it starts to steady out. Year 6, you start to see a little decline, and year 7, it falls off the table, right? And you see it every time. So for us, year 1 and 2, $249, $279. But after, my hope is, and my dream is that if we can get it down to $199 and this COVID shit gets behind us, and now we can have, by the time we're about to blast off in year 3, if I can get to $199 at Christmas 2023, I think that's the magic price point that people are going to freak out and really, start to fly off the shelf. But consider this last thing. The Wii was the number 3 selling home console of all time when it came out 15 years ago. 15 years ago it came out.
Damn.
Generated $50 billion in revenue for Nintendo, 102 million units sold. It came with 1 controller, and it came with 1 mini tech demo, which had,
bowling,
3 things of bowling. You could play a little.
That's pretty much what people had. That's it.
Yeah.
They weren't full games.
Yeah.
It was an awesome,
demos.
by the way, awesome tech demo, but it was a tech demo nonetheless. 15 years ago, 1 controller, 1 tech demo. Families bought it up, ate it up. How much was the Wii when it came out?
Was it $250?
$249, 15 years ago, one controller, one tech demo.
I waited in line with your brother, man.
15 years later, 2 amazing technology controllers, 6 free full games, hook up to 8 mobile devices for free to the controller, no violent games, and all of our games are $9.99 or less. How do you love me now, boys?
Yeah, a lot of people don't take into consideration.
$249 is a crazy price? Yeah. I don't.
They buy a $500 system now, and then you got to get a $70 controller.
No,
and if you get one game, it's another $70. So how much does that make it?
Like
just to play something.
Just to play something.
And if you want to play online,
But they don't put that in consideration. They say, it's close to PlayStation 5 at $500. Well, they don't talk about anything else that you need.
Because everybody's conditioned to think that that's the price. Like, remember last week, the announcement of the Sony PS5 VR, the controllers. There's no price mentioned, but people are automatically assume like, this is going to be even more expensive than the
if you think about it, most people, believe it or not, are puppets, right? Most people are puppets. If you think about it, like we all have friends who are puppets when they, especially like a lot of casual gamers who don't know a lot about games. We have a friend also who's a casual gamer. He was going to buy a PS5. We said, why would you do that? You are a casual gamer. Why are you doing that? Stop it. And
that's the end thing.
Yeah, because everyone's getting it. Everyone wants it. And Stikz sold him his PS4 for what?
100.
100. Yeah. And how many games?
And he got a controller.
And he got a controller. And how many games did he get for on the online service that was like basically free?
No, you can download for 2 games a month.
It's like, that's how you think smart, because at the end of the day, you want a system that plays games that make you have fun.
But listen, what's funny is though, people who are complaining about this, how much are they spending to buy a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox right now on eBay? It's going for $1,200.
Just the system,
and they're buying it.
Just the system, and it makes no fucking sense to me.
Here's the other thing: we get mostly compared though, where people say, well, there's no reason to buy an Amico because you can just spend $50 more and buy a Switch at $299. But again, let's break down the numbers. If you want to talk numbers and pricing, remember, every single one of our games is couch co-op and multiplayer and versus, right? So if you have a family of 4, typical family in America, mom, dad, 2 kids, right? Family of 4, if they wanted to play video games on a television in the living room, here's their choices, right? If they wanted to play casual family games in the living room, 4 people. Now, how many Switches are you going to need for that, or extra Joy-Con? So, okay, Switch 300, game, let's face it, quality 60. Games, 50, 60, 40 to 60. You're going to need 3 more controllers or another Switch. Then you can break up the 4. But wait, that's another $300. You say, well, what about the Switch Lite? Nope, can't connect that to your TV. Can't break up the controllers.
You got to factor in the Joy-Con drift. So you might have to spend more on a Pro controller that doesn't have it. So
you got to go third party.
Add $10, $15 more.
That Joy-Con drift is
that's why they built in the remote control option in Mario Kart.
When you really compare it, you can think to yourself, it's only a $50 difference. No. How much is it going to be for 4 people to play a Switch plus add 6 games?
$140 more. Yeah. At least.
Yeah. So it's $700 again for 4 people to play.
Yeah.
And here's my promise to you guys. There will not be disc drift on the television.
I'll let you know as soon as possible if there was. They'll be like, Tommy, there's some drift on this guy.
Gonna have to let you know,
unless
man.
It's in a racing game.
That's serious right there. No, but I have no idea how this works with these video game consoles, but for example, like 8-Bit Do or Do, or whatever how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
That company makes video game controllers for several consoles. They make variety.
Cheap,
very good,
too.
but
Good
they're
price,
very
good
good controllers.
Better than,
And they work better than
And they're better
actual
than the
Joy-Con crap.
because they don't mass produce into not like a horrible product.
exactly.
That's
they
why.
they focus on quality, right? So, how open are you to accepting like
Third
let's
party.
say a third party company making a
100%.
yeah?
100%.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
man.
sure.
8-Bit Do.
I mean,
Amico
to me,
controls.
that makes us even more legit,
Yeah.
right? When third
Yes.
parties want to do different, and maybe they have a different style, maybe they put a little more grips on here, maybe the screen's in the center and they want to add some buttons here instead of up here, whatever.
Actually,
we're
That's
open to
funny
all.
because I remember what was it? I forgot the name of the company that made the Joy. I have it,
I don't know.
it's the Joy-Con with the it's the Joy-Con with the D-pad. What company was that?
With the D-pad.
Yeah, they made a Joy-Con. It doesn't have all the functions or whatever. It was only like $20. It was cheap.
Yeah, they make a bunch of third
But
parties.
they Nikon? Nico. That's it.
Nico.
Sorry.
Amico.
Amico.
control.
The Amico.
No, Nico. They made a controller with a
D-pad,
which
Nintendo
I've
hasn't
been
done.
waiting for this since launch.
Nintendo
doesn't want to make
for
a
Nintendo
D-pad.
with a proper D-pad. And
Since when has Nintendo made D-pads?
they innovated the D-pad and they just
I like Nintendo and everything, but they get away with a lot of bullshit.
Oh
though,
my
man.
goodness.
I swear to God,
Of
they
course.
do.
so when it takes a third party to make something that
Very first D-pad, because D stands for
Direction,
directional, right? What was the very first directional pad ever? 1979, Mattel Electronics, Intellivision, baby. This came before the
yeah.
There you go.
Everything before this was just a joystick or a slider or a wheel.
So Tom, you said you don't come on to the show without an exclusive.
Oh,
right?
that was actually my
Yeah,
next
I was waiting
question.
for
That was
that
my
too.
next question.
waiting for
I'm
that
like,
too.
Tommy just never shows up here without an exclusive.
So Tommy, do you have any news
Damn.
that you can give the Level 857 podcast?
Squidod.
Yeah. Squid.
Okay, I'm trying to think. I'm putting on the spot. I didn't think of this beforehand, but I'll tell you this. I can tell you this. I mean, I told you about the video that's going to be coming out. I'll tell you what the next couple of gameplay videos are going to be. I haven't really talked about this, but people are going to see the controller in action because I really want to show off not only the speed and how great the controller is to use, because we got to start showing people why this is so unique. And I got news for you guys. And again, I can explain it all day long, but until you actually feel it and play it yourself. But when you use the screen as a button, this entire thing acts as because people are like, yeah, but I want there to be buttons on the front. We're programmed that because we've been playing like that since we were kids. And people say, yeah, but I hate that on the phone. Yeah, you hate it on the phone because it's just this tiny little circle and it's in your screen. But when you have a screen in your hand and you're watching it on your TV, and this is the biggest video game button in the history of buttons. This whole thing, right? And when you have to shoot really quick, and you just need to hold down, guys, there's no latency because in a button you have the travel time, even though it's hundreds of seconds, but the travel time before it goes down, then it has to make contact, then the spring brings the button back up, and then you have to hit it back down again. Whereas you're just doing this every time you're touching it, it's way quicker and cooler. I'm telling you, but you got to play it for yourself to experience it.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that some of the videos that I'm going to coming out with over the next, let's say within the next 30 days in the April, we're going to be showing Rigid Force Redux Enhanced, our exclusive version of Rigid Force Redux, and how cool the screen is and all the animations on the screen, and this brand new couch co-op that's only available on the Amico version, the enhanced version, and how cool And I'll tell you why. Here's an exclusive. I'll tell you why it's so cool. Because the Rigid Force Redux is your typical, shoot 'em up, side-scrolling shoot 'em up, right? And so I thought to myself, how can we make it co-op, but where we can, because it's like, put 2 ships on the screen, dummy. And everybody.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Idiot, you put 2 ships on the screen. But the thing with that 2-ship thing, and then you say, what if you wanted 3 players? You put 3 ships on, stupid. But the thing about that is that, now, again, think about in your mind a side-scrolling shoot 'em up, and the bullets are going everywhere as you're collecting new power-ups, and your ship is all over the screen. How confusing do you think it would be when you add a whole second ship on that screen, and now you're both doing this, and you're both firing, and it's spreading out like R-type and Contra action, where it's just
bullet hell.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, when you don't want it to be.
It's too complex. And then, of course, as you know, side-scrolling shoot 'em up are very much retro and hardcore gamer games. How can I make that a game where a little 4-year-old kid could play, or my wife could play with me? And so what we decided to do is, the game is a lot like R-Type, and you know how you have that ball on the front? Well, the second player takes control of that ball, but it's disassociated from the ship. So what that means is that little sphere can collect all of the things on screen, can shoot from anywhere on screen, and it can never die.
Yeah, because it's attached to the ship.
So it's like Tails.
Yeah, pretty much like Tails and
Tails.
Sonic, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like Tails and Sonic.
Exactly. So imagine playing a shoot 'em up where you're controlling the ship and you're the captain, but any non-player, non-video gamer can just pick up a second controller and they don't have to worry. They're helping you, and they're having fun doing it. And so we're going to start to show stuff like that. We're going to show Shark Shark. We're going to show Cornhole. We're going to show off the motion controls and how fun that is, and see other people besides me playing the damn thing. We're going to show off Farkle. These are the kind of things that we're going to be showing off over the next month. So there you go.
That's cool, man.
Thank you.
Tom, we got a quick question.
But it's not, like I said, I know.
Okay.
They have questions too. But I got a quick one. Because it's not always about adding just another player. Like we found out when we played Final Fight, when they added a third player. Just adding another thing on the screen doesn't always make the game better, because it does get a little confusing. Yeah. And the screen isn't big enough sometimes to.
Well,
put
you just
that.
like hitting. You just like hitting him though.
I mean, you just like throwing a knife at me all the time.
You were there.
Sometimes it's all about the size of the characters too.
Sprites.
Sprites.
You gotta shrink them sometimes.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Like it's funny. Bomberman also.
Bomberman.
Yeah, it's a little too much. I forgot to help me on this one. Xbox 360, they had the 4-player shoot 'em up. And you could form the one robot together. What was that? It was like it started with an A. Aegis. Was it Aegis?
Aegis Wings.
Aegis Wings.
Yep.
Yeah. Like the sprites were the perfect size, and it was a 4-player shoot 'em up, side scrolling. But the 4 of you can form one robot and fight against bosses and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. It's kind of like a little Voltron type of element to it. But that was because the ships were obviously a lot smaller. But I remember I really, really loved that element of that game. That was really, really cool. It was definitely indie, right?
But what?
No, it was Xbox.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
But what Tommy was just.
I want to do some shout outs, if I may, for a couple of seconds here of the folks joining us now. I just saw
OEBP. Oh wait, it sounds like a rap name.
Right? That's right. He is a rapper. That's what he does.
I would love to see a rap song by OEBP.
I would love this.
Open box.
Open box. OEBP with the chains. He's got a lot of gold he wears. He's got his Amico hat puts on sideways.
PDP.
Chuck.
We got Sean Dowell, who's such a great supporter. We got Brian Mancake, one of the first guys, I think the very first person I ever did an interview with like 3 years ago about intellivision. Retro Bro in the house. Look, after this is done, everybody's got to go check out. Retro Bro has a brand new live chat podcast that he started called Amico After Dark.
I like that.
Oh.
Because, you know, Amico is all about family stuff and this and that. So Amico Bro, the Retro Bro, he reached out to me and he goes, "Hey Tommy, I have this idea." He goes, it's all, you know, family and Amico's family, but you know, we want like some adult stuff, or you know, we want to talk like adults, maybe use some, you know, off-color language. We want to just be ourselves and this and that. He says, so I'm gonna change this thing. I'm gonna make Amico After Dark, and we'll have it later at night, and we're just gonna talk and do stuff. And I'm like, I think that's a great idea. They're doing episode, I think 3 tonight, or maybe it's 4, but it's weekly. But here's the cool thing. This is why no one wants to miss tonight. They have 3 people. John, who's Retro Bro, he rounded up 3 different people who all played Amico for the first time in Dallas, Texas. And he's going to put them on the show tonight and interview them, and people can ask them questions. So that's really cool. That's coming up tonight. So check out the Retro Bros. So hello to Retro Bro. Who else we got
Cassandra.
in here?
Thank you.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Super chat.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cassandra. Thank you.
Shout out to Overthink.
Overthinking the hands.
Damn, I haven't seen Overthink in a minute, man.
Ever since the Street Fighter thing.
Damn.
Man.
Chocolate be taking people out, man.
I got for you. Overthink Gaming is not a fan of mine, or not a fan of Amico.
That's fine.
That's fair.
That's fine. That's fine.
Hey, that means he's open to be converted. That's all.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what? I'm okay. What bums me out about him, though, is that he wears that epic, awesome Yankees hat, and I'm a Yankees fan, and dude won't talk to me.
He's not from New York, though.
I want to check who his favorite player is. I'm a Jeter guy. You know, I want to talk baseball. The guy won't talk to me. That's okay.
Overthink. There's a common ground there. You can do this.
Yeah, it's always a common ground, baby. It's all love here. It's all love here.
Tommy, quick question.
Hey, here he goes. And Overthink just said it there. He goes, Tommy, I'm skeptical.
That's fine.
Brother, that is okay. I totally hear you. But he says, look, I have a pre-order. I will tell you this, my friend, though. Overthink, I want you to think about this now. I will tell you this. There is no lag in the controller, right? Getting to no, and let me qualify that statement. There's lag. There's going to be lag in anything that's hooked up Bluetooth and wireless to a TV. What I say when I say there's no lag, meaning when you're playing a game that you cannot tell, there's nothing that gets in the way of gameplay ever. And Overthink, I will swear that on my sister's tombstone. Okay, and so many people have played it, and I know Overthink. I know he's friends with Smash JT. Well, I got news for everyone. Smash JT, here's another exclusive. Smash JT is coming down this week, and he's going to play the machine. He's going to play Amico, and he's going to be eagle eye to see if there's any lag, like people are saying there are, and there's
there we
not.
Go.
Anyone who's
okay.
You'll be there in person.
All right.
And there's been people who played it now, and not a single one of them says there's any lag. So I just want to say that to Overthink is keep an open mind, my friend, because there's definitely, you're going to start to hearing from a lot of people who've played it. But respect to you because you're skeptical, totally understandable. But I want you to come and play it. And if nothing else, hey, have me on. Ask me the tough questions. I don't mind. And if not, that's okay. Let's talk Yankees. forget Yankees, my friend. Come on now.
We got a question from the chat, but I wanted to get to it. But I've seen in some of your interviews your stance on the amount of violence allowed in the games change more towards, E-rated. Like I know you said E, like 10, like 10 plus, and then E.
There's E for everyone, and then there's E10 plus is the second rating. This is in the U.S. because it's different in country. Third one is teen. Fourth one is mature.
And I know you said that it's something like a game like that. They asked in the chat if a game like Contra will be able to play on your system. And I know you said that before because it's aliens and stuff like that it would be able to go on it. Mm-hmm. But as far as the marketing of the system, I think that you're skewing it more towards the E rating right now.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and again, that was another thing I think that the overthink. Somebody had linked me. I didn't see his whole stream, but somebody had linked me to this part and said, "Hey, did you change your mind or something about this?" No. First of all, things are always happening, right? So if I said 3 years ago that this had 16 gig of RAM on board, and then a year later we bring it up to 32 gig, people could say, "Hey, you lied." Well, no, I didn't lie. At the time that I said there was 16 gig, there was 16 gig. Then we changed it, So you got, it is when there's a lot of folks out there, kind of trying to tear you down. And I'm not saying overthink is that, but there's a people out there, they want to try to twist your words and make you, and they'll take one clip of this and take me out of context and all that stuff. But the thing is, in regards to that is that, I haven't decided 100%. Now, here's what I can tell you. Contra has a rating of E plus 10. So in the context of Contra and in the context of E plus 10, a game like Contra could be played on Amico. Now, for our audience that we're going for, will they have issues with their 5-year-old kid holding a gun and shooting things, even though, they might be aliens or this and that in a war thing? Now, Night Stalker is a little different because it's like the Running Man. It's like, it almost doesn't even look like a real thing, and you're shooting robots, and there's no blood and gore and guts and any of that stuff. And neither is Contra. There's no gore in Contra. I mean, there's some stuff they spit out that's whatever, but it's all green slime or whatever. But, and so I've answered this question in a couple of different ways, and it's not that we've changed our mind. It's simply that I don't know the answer yet, because we want to be able to do some market research, and who is going to be the target audience for Amico. Maybe we'll find that 80% of the people who buy it are retro or hardcore gamers, that they just wanted a second cool, quick pick up and play game. Maybe we'll find out that 80% of the people who love Amico are seniors because they love the bowling and the cornhole and the shuffleboard and the cards and the board games and the dice games. Maybe we'll find out that 60-70% of the people who buy Amico are buying it for their kids who are under 7 years old, and they're using it as edutainment. Sesame Street, Care Bears, all the edutainment stuff, right?
But even if they are,
I was gonna say, the one thing that I think retro gamers and I don't even know if maybe hardcore gamers, because it was a hard game too. But I'm really looking forward to the Earthworm Jim that's being worked on.
There you go.
That's one I know definitely, hands down. It's in good hands, obviously.
I think all of those games, though, like Earthworm Jim, you think of like Contra. I think of Double Dragon. I think of Streets of Rage. They're all on the line. Yeah, there's violence, but there's no blood or anybody like dying, and you're beating everyone's ass. Yeah, of course, but it's
violence.
very. There's no blood or anything. Like, I grew up on Contra. Okay. All right. Last time I checked, I'm not a killer. Like, I'm not like.
I've heard
stories.
Listen, I just know how to get away with it. No, I'm just kidding. No, but like,
Wow. Wow.
But before,
I noticed there's one guy missing.
I knew it, dude, man.
You see, what had happened was
mistakes happen.
he's on vacation.
we're
Tommy.
not going to talk about
Yeah,
that,
dude.
Tommy.
He's on permanent vacation.
But even okay,
But let me give you another perspective, and I give this perspective because we've done a lot of market research and focus testing, right? So here's a different perspective to that. Let's take Streets of Rage as a perfect example. Again, what we found when talking with parents and people in, like, Christian communities and things like that is, if you're in a tank, right, or you're in a plane and you're shooting other planes or you're shooting other tanks or you're shooting robots or whatever, there's a disassociation for a younger kid to, like, oh, I'm a vehicle and this and that. But in Streets of Rage, if any of you have young kids, you'll probably know this, is that they like to imitate things they see, right? So in Streets of Rage, if you're hitting somebody with your fist, or you're kicking another person with your fist, or you're hitting them with a bat or a pipe, and a kid who's 4 or 5 years old, now that could be a learned thing where and again, I'm not saying this is science or psychology. I'm just saying what parents think, right? So a parent might think, gosh, I don't know if I want my 5-year-old beating somebody up in the video game because, 10 minutes later, now they're going to mimic, because little kids like to mimic things they see a lot, right? And so are they going to pick up a wiffle ball bat? Are they going to pick up a pipe and all of a sudden hit their sister over the head with it because they don't know better and they just saw it in the game?
That'll be all right. They'll be all right. They'll be all right.
I've been hit with a pipe.
That reminds me of my little nephews.
Where am I right now?
So back in all seriousness though. All right. So if that is the demographic that you're shooting for, is there room for any other demographic at the same time? So obviously, if it's a 10 plus, you don't want a 6-year-old to get the 10 plus, but we know how ratings work. We know how parents don't look at the ratings. But will there be an area, a pocket for those types of games at any time on the system, or is it just a?
I hope so. I do. Again, we have to do market research when we get this into the hands of the people who are purchasing it most. But guys, you've heard me say this from the beginning, from the first time I talked to you guys over a year ago, I think now. But trust and value are two of our most important things with our consumers. And if we feel that trust part is being broken by a majority of the people who are buying our product, that's going to be that's something that we need to sit down as a company and really think about. So but again, Contra's E10 plus, so we just I can't give a definitive answer because I don't know. But the great thing is, the good news is that we're willing to listen to the consumer. We're willing to pivot. Now, will I have violent games? Will we have teen-rated games? No, that's never gonna. Our commitment is to family-friendly entertainment. What we need to figure out is, what do families consider? Because look, we all probably grew up watching Warner Brothers cartoons, right? Yeah. Do some super strict religious families feel that Wile E. Coyote getting his ass blown up by Roadrunner, they might consider that to be violent. We all don't, right? And like you said, rightly said, we know that playing Contra growing up, we're not mass murderers. It's not about that. It's about the people who we want to trust us. Do they feel like we've gone a level too far and then we break that trust? Now we have issues. you know, and so that's where we're not sure where we're at with that right now.
Double Dragon was still one of the best times I've had with my parents as a kid playing multiplayer in those games.
Absolutely. I think that's like one of the most.
It's going to be okay.
I'm sorry, go Tommy.
You know, if I had to bet, I would say that I'm leaning more towards. Look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Perfect example. Yeah.
Like that's a fun game, and I don't think parents. Again, I can't speak, Phil, because I haven't seen the research.
I understand where he's coming from, though, because it's like the console's not out yet. You have to see how, you have to gauge how it's selling. Yeah. What you have to get feedback from everybody that's playing it. The
people you have to see if they even want a game like that.
That's another thing too.
That's the challenge.
We want it. Yeah. Obviously, we want it.
Because we're the gamers. we're the gamers.
We would love it, but that's not
their demographic is for like the families and stuff. Yes. We're the gamer demographic, and obviously we're the violent people. But it's like
for the mature people.
But it's like we don't need blood and guts in games. You know, we got Jackal, right? Remember Jackal for the NES, Rambo for the Sega.
Rambo would be violent.
Well, no, Rambo for the Sega Master System had their bullets were the size of fucking golf balls, and they went like this when they died and disappeared. Yeah. There was no blood or guts in that. You have Double Dragon, you have Streets of Rage.
They got outlined in chalk though.
There is a Contra. There's always a line of all these games.
Castlevania, no, right?
Castlevania, no, I don't
know. It's a gray area.
Castlevania is a very gray area.
It's like
there's zombies and stuff. It depends on your take on it.
Well, if you like Tommy said,
Ninja Turtles. No crosses in it.
Ninja Turtles,
well, there's
right?
blood.
Well, think of it, guys. Think of it. Ninja Turtles, right? They all have weapons. They have swords, sais, and whatever, but they're beating up like robots and stuff like that. That's fine. You know, like we grew up on all that stuff, but I think today's generation is just extra sensitive.
I think they look for a reason.
Yeah, they're like fishing. Since, you know, Tommy's doing something that's new, and not everyone is usually opposed to something that's new. They're like trying to fish for something. Oh no, he said he's doing family stuff and he's trying to be violent. Like, get the fuck out of here.
But if that's the audience that's buying it, hey man. Hey, we're gonna make that. Man, gotta make that.
I mean, it's a business at the end of the day. But like, you know,
I get it.
I got this though. All right, what's your take on pixel graphics now? Because I know you had a thing about having it look too retro and stuff like that. Because kids, you know, the new age doesn't like to look at old school stuff. But the people that you talk to online are very retro oriented, so that's what we're looking for in the system. But like I said, that's a different demographic also. But
it's a different demographic. Here's the deal. We're not trying to compete with Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. We're not trying to compete with Steam. And when you talk to non-gamers, casual gamers, hyper casual gamers, mobile gamers, and little kids, and when I say that, I mean 10 and under, when you talk to those people who are our target demographic, not a single one of them will pick pixel graphics over cartoon graphics. Not a single one. 10 out of 10 times they will not pick pixel graphics. And so now to us, we grew up on them. We get, you know, they have charm to us. They bring us back to the 80s or the 90s when we think about this. They have special meaning to us. But to a 7-year-old kid, he looks at it and goes, that looks like crap and it's blurry and it's gross, you know? And but again,
for real, right?
But let me state this though. I say that as we launch the console. As we launch the console, we don't want to be confused because we have a retro name. We don't want to be confused with a mini. We don't want to be confused with a flashback. We don't want to be confused with some Steam because our prices are low and is it like a Steam box in this under TV? Yes. We have to differentiate ourselves out of the gate. Now, if you say, Tommy, would you like to put could there be a pixel graphic game like a year after launch, after you have established yourself as what it is? Hell yes. Hell yeah. So I'm not saying that, we're never going to have pixel graphic games on the machine. No, I'm not saying that. And I never said that. What I'm saying is that we need to establish ourselves
an identity
to our audience for what we are. Yeah. Let us establish that because it's too hard. People think in television and they think, is it going to be a flashback?
I see. Yeah,
You
that
know?
makes sense.
Is it just games? Because people, the hardcore and television fans, tell me all the time, you got to put the original games on there. Hell, not at the beginning.
Yeah, that's yes, yeah.
No.
You
And there's
know?
so many other avenues that
Then
you
we're
can get
gonna-
those games too.
Yeah,
You know.
when you're coming from like into that kind of like you're coming out with a new console into what's going on right now. It's kind of everyone's gonna have questions and suggestions and stuff like that. And it's like you just got to stick to what you're trying to do. And then when you finally are like, hey, we're here, and this is what we're doing right now. We're always open. We're not saying we're not closing the door on anything else.
Right.
But everyone's got these. Just wait. Let us just get our feet in the water real quick. Calm down. You know.
It's funny because you have to look at Nintendo when it comes to that, because Nintendo, they have their own identity when it comes to console gaming.
Yep.
Sony, Microsoft,
Well, you know,
they can't touch them. Yeah, because of that.
Too. You know, the other interesting thing about this whole thing that we're talking about too, and where we have a massive advantage here at Intellivision, is that because we're not doing 10, 20, $30 million games that take 1,000 people in 5 years to make, we can quickly add or shift or do whatever within we could shift our whole library in like a 6-month time period, right? So for example, if we come out and everybody's like, oh my God, cornhole was so much fun because the motion controls, and we've missed these motion controls, and we did it right. You know, Nintendo, we did it right, but they never had like a ton of quality stuff after that. But oh my gosh, you're doing pool, and you're doing darts, and you're doing, shuffleboard and bocce and all these. You know, people might cry, please, we want more of these. And we're seeing that 95% attach rate to like a motion control game or recreational sports game. We might go back and go, hey guys, let's load up on those, right? Or we might, and 6 months later, now we have 10 more products for people. Whereas PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, they can't do that, you know, because their games are taking years to make and millions of dollars or whatever. So that's another, I feel like it's an advantage, but we're open to being able to pivot once the thing's out there. And that's the great thing, is we have a lot of different directions we could pivot. It could be entertainment. It could be motion controlled sport, recreational sports. It could be retro. Maybe everybody buys it in the big.
Sorry.
Now you guys got a lot of flexibility, which is a good position to be in.
Yeah,
very good position to be in.
But I understand that you have to.
You guys have a game plan.
Yeah, no,
like
you have
everyone who's suggesting all the games in the world they don't have a game plan.
Yeah,
and there's no reason. Like, okay, I can just name this title. What's that going to mean for the company?
Yeah, it's like we're not out yet. We are not out yet. Okay.
I understand 100% on how, like, you're basically saying we need to
see how it goes.
Well, we need to set an identity. Like,
and when
said
the
mission statement,
the numbers come in, then you adjust to the numbers.
And I look at,
that's how it works.
When I say that, you look at the Atari VCS when that was a Kickstarter, right?
Exactly. What is that?
It was.
Obviously, it's been reviewed. I've watched some of the reviews of it. Everybody says the same exact thing. They say, well, it's not terrible. It's not as terrible as what everybody said it was going to be. But what they said was,
where's the identity?
Everybody across the board said this was marketed completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's not what they originally said that it was supposed to be. So that's something
another
where
Netflix for old retro games. That's exactly what it is.
But that's something that they dropped the ball there, and they lost their identity.
But where do you go from there? That's the problem.
Yeah,
well,
they're gone. They're gone now.
Well,
I think the comment from the Wren is very interesting. He said, I was talking to my mom and stepdad the other day, and she said she wouldn't play a game unless it was shuffleboard. And my stepdad said he wanted bocce. So Tommy is on point. I just mentioned those.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right, but imagine playing games with your parents. You know.
Yeah.
No,
well, Tommy, I told you a few times. Anytime I go see my mom, she lives upstate, like a couple hours from me. And, I'll tell her, like, hey, we had Tommy on the podcast again. She's like, is he going to get Miss Pac-Man? Like she's and she's better than anyone here in Pac. I don't know why I suck so bad at Pac. I cannot play Pac-Man worth a damn. Yeah. But she had the at a garage sale. She got this little ass Miss Pac-Man that has the big D batteries, and she kills it all the time. And she's like, I'm open to getting that system if he has the Miss Pac-Man on there. And I'm like, well, I will buy it for you, first of all, so don't even worry about that. But, like, she always harasses me about the Miss Pac-Man.
And Tetris.
That's funny. I see Snestastic, the Amico kid. So you guys are worldwide now. So the Ren is Canada. Yeah. Snestastic, Amico kids over in the UK.
Oh, shout out to them. Oh, shout out to them, man.
Welcome aboard.
Canada, OEBP. So truly an international show. Brian Mancave is Canada too. Nice. A lot of Canadians. But I just got to do this to OEBP and Snestastic. That's awesome. Amico kid. I just got to do this one time for them. They love the red machine. They love the red machine.
That's the maple leaf.
Yeah. Teasing them with the red. Okay, sorry.
I missed it in the beginning. There you go.
Now they got it. They got it.
Yeah. Everybody's aware who might be seeing this for the first time. This is just a dev kit. This is not final production, final plastics, and all this stuff. Even final colors, because this is going to be a little darker and this and that. And then this is going to be textured in here. And this, I don't know if you can tell, but it's it is like a metallic, which is really nice. It's a really tight metallic, though, not one of those gaudy, boats from the 70s. No, so anyway, but this is really exciting.
Like a candy painted.
And the red, red and wood grain are my two favorites. But
is there going to be any Gadege Easter eggs on the Amico anywhere?
Two controllers.
Gadege I don't know. No, probably not Gadege. But
inside each controller is a
if they're inside each controller.
You make some
Goody. That's the opener.
Dude, when you send us a dev kit, can you just make a customized Gadege?
Yes. Oh my god. I want to. Oh my god.
That would be amazing, dude.
I'll pay top dollar for that.
Yeah.
So Tommy, I know you haven't said anything like.
Gonna go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know you haven't said anything about the
Amico logo. When the Amico logo comes up, and and it's going at the end, it's gonna go.
Yes.
Just for us. Just for us.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, I got news for you. Grudge Q just showed up. Grudge was one of the guys who played the system for himself on Friday of last week. So there you go.
In the chat, y'all want to know what's really like? Guys.
Ask Grudge. Ask Grudge too.
If anyone wants to ask Grudge if there's lag, is Overthink still with us? Ask Grudge if there's lag in the controllers. Yeah. Grudge will tell you. There was not. So anyway.
So I was going to ask about the physical media. So I know you haven't said anything about the actual physical media itself.
I'm looking at it on my desk right now. If I were to turn my phone around, you'd
can anyone see the reflection in his eyes?
I saw it.
So I have. Someone's going to zoom in.
Someone will zoom in. Somebody will.
Freeze frame.
We didn't record this in 4K. But I have my take on what I think it might be. So I'm going to run it past you.
Okay. Give me your take. I'll tell you if you're close or
not. I was
thinking,
you said there's multiple different types.
Say if he's hot or cold.
So I was saying that there might be, what if they were like.
There are multiple types, but on launch, we're going to have a uniform thing for launch. Where,
and then they use the, what is it, RFID? Like how do you do the.
RFID?
They do that. Yeah. Okay. So my take was either cards with the artwork on them, or mini cartridge replicas with the cover art on it for the collectors, and that would be pretty damn awesome.
You know what would be better?
What's that?
Both.
Both would be better.
You heard it here first, y'all. You heard it here first.
Okay. Both. So that's like a good tease.
That's a good tease.
That's two at a time.
That's two at a time.
Days.
Two at a time. Okay. All right.
You heard it here first, guys.
You heard it here first, guys.
Wink, wink, wink. Got it.
There you go.
There's so much about the physical media because certain people have seen it off camera or whatever, and there's so much coolness. I mean, it really does combine the best parts of physical and the best parts of digital together. That's what we've created. This very unique thing that take the best parts of what you like about physical, take the best parts of what you like about digital, put those two together, and that's what we're going to be about. And collectors are going to like.
So you're saying we can buy something digital online and have it pop out the console in a physical form? That's both combined.
Pretty much, yeah.
I told you
That's
just now,
cool,
man.
Matter
No, that's
conversion
awesome.
in a console. I like that.
No, that's
That's
awesome.
Amico
It's a
too.
3D printer. You just told us. It's a 3D printer.
Yeah. A 3D printer.
That's the best of both worlds.
Oh man.
I got a question. So when is Level 857 getting their hands on this thing? What do we have to sign? What's going on here, Tommy? What's going on?
Yeah. No, you don't have to sign anything. I never. People don't sign anything. The only time we ever made people, because this is another stupid rumor that people want to perpetrate. What the only time we ever had anyone sign an NDA was the people who saw Amico behind closed doors at E3 back in 2019.
John Riggs. Yeah.
So any of the games and stuff, they had to sign an NDA, which is very typical for E3. They had to sign an NDA, but very important, that said that they couldn't talk about certain things that we were showing them because we hadn't mentioned them yet. We never, an NDA, there's not an NDA that says you can't talk bad about us. Like, that's so stupid. Like, anyone who thinks that has no idea what even an NDA even means,
I
right?
don't know what an NFT is.
Non-disclosure agreement for anybody out there who doesn't know.
That's right. Non-disclosure agreement. That means that you can't disclose certain information that hasn't been released to the public yet. That's the only time we had people. But we didn't say, oh, you can't say anything bad about it. They could say whatever they want. They just couldn't talk about certain things. That's the only time we've ever done it, right? And so all of the people who've seen it and who played it and everything, we don't make people sign anything. So I just wanted to say that and clarify that, because there's bad info out there. But you guys asked a great question. When can you guys get your hand on it? Look, here's my promise to you. I'm going to be coming out to New York probably within the next 2 to maybe 3 months. So I'm going to be out there before midsummer. Okay. When I do that, I'm going to bring a working console out there. We're going to all get together. We're going to do it wherever you want. We'll set it up right in that room.
Yes.
And we're going to do a live podcast. Yeah. You guys can play it and you can tell me everything you want about it. That will happen, guys. The next time I'm in New York, that will happen.
Awesome. Okay. Good answer.
You heard it here first.
That is beyond exciting.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
That's beyond exciting.
I say it on one condition, though. You have to sign an NDA that says you can't talk back. No.
I was like, wait, what? You just said it.
The funny thing is, I'd be like, fine.
I'm like,
I'd sign it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever.
One condition is this, is that you have to give me your 100% honest opinion about everything.
Oh, you'll get that from us.
Yeah,
no, you'll definitely get that from us. Yeah. All 5 of us, you'll get that from us.
100%.
Buddy, and I feel bad telling them this. No, you got to come raw. Yeah. You got to come raw at me, and you got to say this and that. And guys, I'm so confident that I know it's not going to be anything major, and that's why I have no problem saying that to you folks. But you have to be. That's my one condition. You have to be 100% straight up
something
honest.
bad or something wrong.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know.
Yeah, because we want you to win.
We want you to fix it.
Yes.
We want you to
We're
win.
be buying this,
Yeah,
so it's like
I ordered one already. And I'm like, yeah, this has to be fixed before I get the actual one in my hands. Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes sense.
Oh, now I'm
all for that.
I'm so excited. I'm like sweating.
Watch him come in when we're on vacation.
Yeah,
Cancel the trip.
Whatever you do, Tommy, don't pop in New York at the end of May going into June. don't, not early June. Mid June is fine.
I did cancel. I don't know if now is a good time to say this.
Early May, mid June.
Not all of us know about this.
And we're catching Yankees game.
Hey, we're down for whatever, man. We're down for whatever. There's no over here.
And is Overthink Gaming? Is he in New York?
He's in
Texas. But he's invited if he wants to come through.
Hey. Well, he could have came and saw it last week.
Yeah, he's in Texas, man. He's a Texas dude.
Listen, Overthink can swing by.
Okay.
Overthink can swing by, yo. Anyone can swing by,
man.
What's good? Smash JT, come on now. With his glass of wine.
Yeah.
Get your COVID shots.
Yo, I got my first COVID shot today, man.
I got my first COVID shot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you why you started to have a third eye on the side of your head.
I just ignore it. Don't worry about it, man.
I'm actually dead. I'm a zombie.
I'm good. My right arm's has a weird color. It's okay, man. We good.
Yeah, sperm count 0.
Still works.
I let them test it out first.
Practice.
Yeah, man. It's harder to get the shot than the PlayStation 5 right now.
Oh, damn.
It's ridiculous.
Damn.
It's ridiculous.
Damn.
PlayStation 5 is harder to get than the COVID shot.
We'll see.
No,
we'll
it
see.
is.
We'll
It
see.
is.
I would
I
say,
ain't got mine yet.
Not for you.
I got my shot pretty quick. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I got mine last Friday.
I got mine last Thursday.
Yeah, you
You
slacking.
work for the government.
You work for the government. You work for the government.
Yeah, I mean, I am considered an essential worker. So.
Yeah, same here. I'm an essential.
I'm important.
Yeah,
I'm just
an essential
here.
worker who gets nothing.
And I'm just here.
Yeah. I don't know how you got anything.
Wait, you work at?
Where you even leave?
I work here at level 857, man. Like
You work at GameStop, don't you?
Yo.
I hope they give him.
Tommy, are you guys still on schedule for an October release?
Yeah, I mean, that's everything. I mean, again, I'm sitting here with a 99.9% hardware complete system on my desk. Now that's the hardware. I mean, we're still working on firmware, and you're always working on firmware, as you guys know. You turn on your PlayStation 4 tonight. I got news for you. And you haven't turned it on in a month. You're going to get a firmware update. So firmware is always constantly happening. But yeah, right now we are absolutely on target. In order to hit that date, we're going to have to go into manufacturing by July. So ask me that question again in July, and I'll give you the 100%. I'll tell you, the challenge we're having right now with everybody else in the world is we have over 700 parts that make up an Amico. That includes both controllers. We have 700 parts, and we have over 100 of those parts are electronic components. And if there's one that we can't get, then we're waiting, right? And it is brutal out there right now. We started ordering electronic components last November, so these lead times are crazy. Everything's going to the highest bidder. Things are like you put a deposit down and you pay for something, and then you have a contract with somebody in China, and then they come back to you a month later and said, hey, this person's willing to pay me more. So you either pay us more or you're going to lose your order. It's cutthroat, my boys. I mean, it's unbelievable out there. So we are doing everything we possibly can.
And there's always duct tape.
To me,
there's always duct tape.
Duct tape.
Right? Well, we're doing everything we possibly can to get 100,000 units, because that's how many pre-order purchase orders we have in pre-orders. We're doing everything in our power to get 100,000 out on October 10th. Maybe we'll only be able to put out 10,000 on October 10th, and then 10,000 on October 20th, and another 20,000 November 15th. I can't answer that for you. I don't have a crystal ball, but we're shooting for 100,000 in the stores October 10th. We're on schedule to do that, but until we get every single component and the things on the assembly line, I can't give anyone 100% guarantee, right? When they're on the boat over, that's when I'll tell you 100% how many we have and when, you know?
What can you say about the time that you've had since the first release? What has improved?
That's a great question. You know, I think the games, all of the things that we were kind of on our to-do list that maybe got pushed down, we now pushed back on the list. And it could be simple things like, I'll give you one example. In Shark, at the end of the level, or at the end of the worlds, right? I wanted to put in there on the end screen, I wanted to put, like, when you finish the level, I thought it would be really cool because we're all competitive and we love playing against each other and stuff, and we're all bragging rights and all this and that. I really thought it would be cool as if we picked up, so here's your score, here's how many sharks you killed, here's how many pearls you picked up, and here's how many fish you ate, right? So you might have a higher score than me because you ate more fish, but you didn't kill any sharks, but I killed 3 sharks. And even though I have a lower score, I'm going to give you crap because I'm going to be like, dude, you know, little girl, like you were afraid of the shark. I'm a shark killer, bitch. You know, you go around eating a little fish, you know, and now you have these fun dialogues. And so we had originally kind of, due to time, we kind of cut that out and say, you know what, let's just show the score. Now back and we said, you know what? We got extra time. I want that back in. And that's back in the game now. So just little things like that, you know. I think the games are going to be better. You know, I mean, there's a number of things. I think adding more things, like one of the big things we're trying to add right now, and we're hoping to get on launch that we thought would be after launch, is that we talk about our leaderboard system, right? And one of the things that we're now, you know, starting to incorporate that might have been left off without the extra time initially, again, we would add it 6 months later or whatever, but we're trying to add it for launch now again, is that we can all make friend leaderboards. So the 5 of us, well, there's 4, one's missing, but the 5 of us could all kind of put in our, you know, our console code, and we could create a leaderboard of like 5 friends all over the country. And so we could go on those games and go, oh, look at my score on Astro Smash. I'm in first place and Big Chocolate's in second and whatever, you know. So that was something that we thought we were going to add, you know, a couple months after launch. That now comes back in the mix and we say, shoot, I think we can get this on launch now. So little things like that. Great question.
That reminds me of
like arcades.
Yeah. Well, Bombfest I was thinking about also with the
Bombfest.
when you die, like you can die, cool. But even after you're dead, you can still affect.
You can win.
You can, but you can still win. Yeah. You can
that,
still win even after you die. And I think that was like the first time I've ever seen that.
Because of the score,
yeah.
Because of the way they did their point system, and it's still fun. It's still fun.
I had a 2-part question. All right, 2-part question. The first part is, what?
That's only one question.
It's a Deej question.
It's a Deej question. And it gives you power to. No. What is the status of Earthworm Jim's production right now? And what is your guys' relationship with third parties like Sega and Konami and stuff like that?
And way forward.
Yeah,
and way forward.
So we've spoken to Sega, we've spoken to Konami, we've spoken a lot with Namco. So Miss Pac-Man's mom is gonna love that.
mom's gonna flip.
And we've spoken to Activision, and we've spoken to Blizzard, and we've spoken to Ubisoft, and all of those companies we've spoken to, and a couple of them we've done deals with that we haven't announced yet.
Can you announce it now?
Just so you have something to say to your mom.
I got to save juice to the end. You know what I mean? Like if I tell everyone now, then what are you going to do for the next 6 months on launch? And then it's going to be like, it's not going to be as exciting,
that makes
right?
sense.
On launch. I mean, it's going to be exciting, but you know what I mean? Like, we got to like build you up. And we got this spreadsheet of like, I call it the spreadsheet of awesome. But it's like all of the times, roughly, there's not like exact dates, but like by weeks of when we're going to announce certain things. And it's just like this big, you know, hockey stick thing that kind of just goes up, you know, to launch as it gets more and more exciting. Capcom we've talked to. Yep. Dr. Game Love asked for Capcom.
Everyone
Absolutely.
loves Capcom.
Yeah,
Everyone flips out for
baby.
Capcom.
Yeah.
Capcom was just Resident Evil.
And so that's the story to that is we have very great relationships. Again, keep in mind, a lot of the folks who work for us worked at those companies. I've worked with every single one of those companies, whether it's through Video Games Live or doing music for those companies over the last 30 years. So we know all these people, and they all love the concept. Now, again, truth be told, because I'm always transparent in everything I'm always about, you know, truth be told, a lot of the bigger companies, and I'll even name names because I don't care, like a big company like Activision, for example. Like, I wanted to do a Pitfall remake, and I even got David Crane and his team to want to do it with us, right? So that's great, right? But Activision come back and said, he goes, look, Tommy, we love you. We think the concept is great, but from a business standpoint, we want to wait to see if the console is successful or not on launch. And you know what? That's totally fair. I respect that. I'm not going to be upset at that. I get it. They're a big, publicly traded company. Same thing with EA. They said the same thing. EA's like, you know, and it wasn't like we were going for Madden football or anything, but some of their puzzle games are really popular and stuff. And so, you know, and so EA, and I spoke to the president of EA, buddy of mine, and he said, he says, you know, Tommy, we love you. We think you're going to be a great success. We hope that you are. But as a company, we need to wait, and then maybe we'll dive in year one, year two. Totally cool. I get it. So that's where we're at with those. Now, some companies are more apt to take some chances with us, and we're appreciative of them. Atari being one of them. We got 12 Atari games. So that's that question. The question about Earthworm Jim is a fascinating one. It's really great. Is that, you know, yes, we're actively working on it, but all of the people, remember, all of the people who, I don't want to say all of the people, that's exaggerating. The majority of the team that made Earthworm Jim is working with Intellivision right now. Most of which are full-time employees here. Art directors, level designers, audio people, you know, programmers, optimizers. We're all here, right? And so this extra COVID time, again, we never intended on having Earthworm Jim come out at launch, because that is such a special game and a special experience that we need that to be, again, once you come, we don't want to come out with 50 out of the gate. And then what do you got for me for the next 6 months or a year?
No, it's true.
Right?
Very true. Episodic.
Yeah. No.
I know.
No.
We need to spread our victories out, right? And so Earthworm Jim, remember what I said, guys, before. That bell curve. You got year one, you got year two. So by the end of year two, as we go into that supersonic gonna explode phase, That's when I want to drop Earthworm Jim.
Okay.
That's the time
that
to
would be
drop
your
it,
Sonic,
right?
because Genesis didn't come out with Sonic the first
No, they
year.
did not.
or
They
the
did
second
not.
year.
They did not.
No, they did not.
Thank you. How about Zelda Breath of the Wild? Did that come out on launch?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was launched for Switch. Yeah,
Was
That was
Yeah.
Mario wasn't.
Originally, it wasn't supposed to, but I think Switch got
No,
delayed
you're-
a bit, and it came out in March.
No, he was thinking of Mario.
Right.
Mario
I'm
Odyssey.
thinking of the Breath of the Wild, the Wii,
What's the Wii one?
the one before
Twilight
Twilight
Princess.
Princess.
Oh, that wasn't a release. That wasn't a release title.
Ah, actually,
was.
no, it was.
Princess was the release title.
Yeah,
For the Wii.
I think what you were thinking about for the Switch was Mario Odyssey, because they showed the trailer before launch, and then it launched, and it wasn't released
Skyward
until.
Sword was later too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That. Okay, I'm getting all my Zelda.
So many Zeldas,
yeah.
so
No,
many
there's a lot of
Nintendo
Zeldas.
consoles.
There's a lot of Zeldas.
No, one that was on Wii a few years later, but then launched the Wii U, right?
Skyward Sword.
Yeah, Skyward Sword was later.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Sorry, I mixed up my Zelda.
Mix up the
fine.
Bad
Wii's.
Sonic.
There's too many Wii's. And...
All I care about, I love Tetris. That's my favorite game of all time. And
Who owns the rights to Tetris?
I
Tommy?
don't. Well, there's a lot of. There's
yeah,
a lot
who
of.
owns Tetris?
It's a gray area with Tetris, because it's like.
It's everywhere, but I thought Nintendo, but it's not.
How do you
Nintendo.
get
No,
a
it's not.
Tetris game?
Look, here's the deal. Our senior executive vice president, Phil Adam of Biz Dev and Sales, was the guy,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
who helped to get Tetris out of Russia into America. Phil Adam is the guy, and you can look up any Tetris documentary and you'll see Phil's name. He was the guy who showed Hank Rogers at CES in 1984, I believe it was. He was the one who showed it to Hank Rogers, right? So he used to babysit the woman, Hank's daughter, who now runs Tetris.
Oh,
He babysat her. Now, me and Hank go way back. Me and Alexi go back, but me and Hank even farther. And Hank's like semi-retired. He doesn't run the Tetris company anymore, but his daughter does. And I'm dear friends with her. And so we have so many ties. And of course, Tetris is a very special part of Video Games Live. And we did a big anniversary with the company. Blue Planet is the official, the Tetris company, but Blue Planet Software. We're very good, dear friends with all those folks. Of course, we've been talking to them about doing an exclusive Tetris game for Amico. Is it going to come out on launch?
I don't expect
No.
it to, but
Is it going to be one of our victories going into year one or year two? Absolutely.
that's all I wanted to hear.
You just made
Yeah,
his day
I'm
right
happy,
there.
man.
He's
That's
very
all I
happy
wanted to
right
hear,
now.
man. That's all I wanted to hear. It's in the
Putting
works.
another pre-order in there.
Yeah, I'm buying another one.
He's gonna buy an Amico just to play Tetris.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This is my Tetris Amico.
Oh my god.
No, man, it's awesome.
That's
That's awesome. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Cool.
I think we got everything, right?
All right.
Oh,
Anybody in the chat want to ask anything?
I have a crazy idea, Tommy. All right. All right. This is
Okay, hit
this
me
is
up.
very left field, but
Yes.
me and Al were chatting the other day. All right.
Oh, yeah.
And we just came up with a
Yeah.
crazy thing. I just want to run it by you.
They don't
okay?
even know about it.
Yeah, no. Big Choco
I'm
and Stikz.
skeptical already.
Yeah, yeah.
The rest of the group
Stikz
don't
and
even know
Big
about
Choco
this.
don't even know about this. All right. So we're all right. So
Let me
before
hear it.
level 857, we were a hip hop group known as 857. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Now,
there.
yeah, we did a song way back in the day called Next Level, where we added a lot of video game references, some G4 footage,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? We haven't done anything in a long time. We have all this camera equipment. We should record something new, like a new video game type of song, for the channel. I think that'd be pretty dope. And then we ran the idea like, yo, do you think we can get Tommy to like play a riff on like a green screen or something, or like so we could incorporate him somewhere in there? I'm like, that would be the craziest thing in the world.
Awesome.
Said yes.
I love it.
Would-
Count me in.
Are you like messing with me right now just to make me feel good, or is this like a thing?
You heard it here first.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't even say the rest of it.
Oh,
There's more. There's more. There's more.
Yeah, get a verse.
There's more than this. There's more.
So now,
This is a shot in the dark.
all right,
Might as well
there's
just
multiple
ask.
shots in the dark here. Okay, so not only like a new Next Level song, right? But like something like Amico-like. You're like something just for the Amico. And if you don't like it, don't even put it on your thing. Like whatever. Yeah. But like just something for the Amico, a song just for the Amico. We're all about that life. We'll probably do something like that. That's something we would love to do.
And the chorus.
I love it. I think I mentioned this to you guys before. Send me stuff. Let's put it in the game. And we got to shout out to Module Cell.
Yo, Module Cell.
Thank you, Module Cell.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you, brother.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
I'm not going to read what he said because people will grab that and get me in trouble, but it's pretty funny.
So he freaking loves Nintendo. That's what it says. Right?
Yeah. Hey, I mean, Nintendo is universally loved, and this is probably the last.
No, this is a shot. This is a.
We were having a long conversation about this and just like throwing things out there. I'm like, what do you think?
Probably drinking.
Yeah,
well,
listen, we like to drink. Okay, we like to
still.
drink. I was like, what do you think Tommy will think of this? I don't know. So we were. The last thing, I'm like, yo, who do you think Tommy can get? A certain somebody to sing that hook.
Cousin of his,
maybe a cousin of his, maybe a cousin of his, maybe.
And then you could do a rock rap,
like a Run
collaboration
DMC type of thing. Like, yo, come on, that'd be crazy.
kind of,
breaking the wall,
breaking the walls.
Break through a wall like the Amico breaks through the walls of the video game industry.
That's it.
Yo, come on, man.
Wait 1 second. Dude,
that would work.
I'll double down on that.
If you guys got 7 figures, I could talk.
Yo, listen.
We can't afford Steven Tyler, but listen. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
If you get Steven Tyler, I will break through the brick wall dressed up as an Amico.
Okay. You hear it first. You hear it here first.
Oh yeah.
I will kick a brick wall down dressed as an Amico.
Yes. Oh my God. You hear it here first, guys.
Guys, this needs to happen anyway. Forget Steven Tyler. We got to get a Kool-Aid costume on Big Choco.
With the Amico costume.
Or an
the Amico costume. That's it.
That would look
purple.
Dude, you're going to be the mascot.
Purple.
You got to be great, really.
Get one of your cosplayer friends to build an Amico outfit for Big Choco.
Oh,
that would be a viral video in a half. I'm telling you.
Yes.
And I will promote the hell out of it.
Okay, well, you hear it first here.
Remember to hit that like button, y'all.
Hit that like button, y'all.
Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
Yes, please.
We got ideas.
If y'all want to see this happen, y'all got to hit that like button.
Shots in the dark. Shots in the dark.
Please
man.
do. Oh, man. That is crazy.
I got everybody. Speaking of hitting the like button, everybody hit it right now. Come on. We're at 28. We got 27 people watching. Let's see this thing get up to 30. Come on, right now. We got to get it up to 30 right now. Everybody, if you haven't hit the like button, it right now. Help these guys out.
Thank you.
You know,
every little bit helps, guys.
It really does help us.
It's all about the love, baby. It's all about.
We
the
appreciate you.
You have no idea. It does help us.
There was an earlier question in the chat about Retromania.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They wanted to see if the flatbread was being worked on.
You know what's coming up.
I'm waiting to hear from those guys. We got to get the Big Choco flatbread, the Italian flatbread.
Yeah.
We got to make that happen. It's in the works. I mean, that's got to be a thing. It's going to be a thing no matter what. We got to do that.
That's got to
I
happen.
think everybody wants it really bad. Like it's got to be a campaign. You know?
Yes.
Let's get that flatbread.
Put Choco.
Campaigning that is pretty
Italian
damn good,
flatbread
Yeah.
campaign.
Yeah, man.
With Johnny
That's
Retro. That's a pretty good storyline.
Yeah, man.
But I did have one more question.
Sure.
So we talk about music. So the Video Games Live tour, I saw that you had a post up and it had the seats in paper at this arena.
Yeah.
So this is a new world we're in.
Yeah.
So how's that gonna go?
Yeah.
I tell you, it's great. We did a show in Lubbock, Texas on Saturday with the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra. It's a 3,000 seat, $1 billion brand new venue. We were one of the first shows to ever play in the Buddy Holly Center because Buddy Holly was from Lubbock, Texas. And it was amazing that we were even able. I mean, we're kind of always pushing the. We're always pioneering some stuff. Here we are. We're back out doing shows when nobody's doing shows, right?
Yeah.
And so it was really exciting. And the people who were there, and again, everybody had, groups of ticket buyers, you could sit together as a group, but everybody, the groups were all social distance. So if you only had one ticket and you were there by yourself, you're going to see 2 or 3 seats to your left, 2 or 3 seats to your right, 2 or 3 seats in front of you. But if you were a group of 8, you could be there, but then there were 3 seats to the next group, right? And so it was this really kind of odd setup and whatever. But it was Texas, and Texas, they like to, they're loud down in Texas. They like to be loud. They like to do things big. So one of the first things I did when I came out on the stage, I said, "Hey, yo, Texas, we're back. Here it is. Everybody's out, and we really appreciate everybody coming out. Let's try to get back to, it's the first step in getting back to a normal, the world being a little bit normal, or our lives being a little bit normal, going to concerts again, celebrating with each other as a big group here." And I said, "But look, here's the help I'm going to need, is that, they could only sell, the capacity could only be 30% of the venue, right? Wow. So only 1,000 people instead of 3,000. So Texas, I'm going to need your big Texas help here. And I need you to be 3 times as loud, because 2 of your friends can't be here tonight. Wow. And we need to make up for that." And everybody went crazy. So
that's
awesome.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
That's sick.
We're getting there, man. We're getting there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's the first step.
First step,
Yes, sir.
All right.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having me on, and all of these great topics that you guys and questions that you have. It's important for me. People say, "Oh, why does he do all these interviews and they're hours long and this and that?" But again, I think it's important to get the truth and the facts out there, right? And, oh, did he say this before? And he said this about the price. He said this about E-rated game. Look, the exciting thing is that even the bad information or the twisted information that's out there, or the incorrect or misinformation, the great thing is that people are talking about it, no matter what, right?
That's true. Yes.
Even if people are talking negatively about it,
it's a topic.
They're talking about it.
Right. No
We're
such thing's bad press.
interesting enough to them, right? So even the folks who got to talk about it once a week on their podcast for 45 minutes, were interesting, and we got them.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly what it means. Yeah,
talking
very
about
true.
it.
Talking about it. You know what would suck, guys?
If no one talks.
If no one cared.
Yeah,
it wasn't interesting. No one talked about it. Then I'd be worried.
Yeah.
But the fact that, there's so many people talking about it, and again, the overwhelming majority is talking about it, good and positive, but the fact that people are interested enough to talk about it even in a bad way. Overthink Gaming, perfect example, right? He's talked about it a couple of times. It's an interesting topic to him. And like he said, look, I think he hopes we succeed. I don't think he's a hater. He's very skeptical. Totally fair of him to be skeptical. I'm not going to sit here and say you shouldn't be skeptical. Of course you should. Of course you should. So again, I love out there to everybody, even the haters.
That's awesome. If you don't get hate,
you're doing it wrong if you ain't got hate.
You ain't doing great if you ain't got hate.
Hey, I like that.
There you go.
Hey, I like that.
What you said? What's that one? Say again.
I said you ain't doing great if you don't have hate.
Hey, I like that. Yeah, I'm going to use it.
That's your marketing campaign right there.
Yeah, man. All right, Tommy. It's been awesome having you, dude.
Been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, dude. Until next time, my friend.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Big
Have
up,
a good
brother.
night, man.
See you later, guys.
Yes, sir.
Later.
Yeah.
Also in the news today, Mario died. Nah.
Yo, look, it's everywhere. Mario
Dude, why
died.
is that
It's like-
everywhere, man?
Because they're taking the title away. I mean, he's dumb. He's not dead. He's not dead. He's not even alive.
He's not dead.
He's
He'll be
digital.
fine.
He's a fake character.
He's not dead.
He's not
only-
real.
he's
I'm
only-
sorry. Mario's not real.
You know what? I'm about to post a short of me killing Mario in Smash Brothers, saying
about to
Mario
say-
is really dead.
I was
He's
about to
dead.
say, I love killing Mario and Smash.
Actually,
Yo.
didn't he die in the trailer? Oh, almost. Like he faked that. He got stabbed.
Oh,
by
in the
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth trailer.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
That's
thought
what
that
it
was the most vicious thing. I said, he
I'd have been
fucking
like-
killed Mario.
But
And
it-
I was like,
I was like, yo,
just
this
went
game
through-
got real.
That's the meme.
The sword went through his
Oh, no.
His overall.
his overall right there.
what the funny thing is, like that that trailer was so intense that has everyone like this the whole time, looking, and then when that happened, everyone said, "Oh,
yeah."
No one was ready for that shit.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is put his face up and game over.
Was
best trailer.
That was the best reveal.
Best Smash Bros. Reveal by far right now.
No, that was the best.
I don't know how the final two will top that, but that was that shit was crazy.
That was the best reveal.
I wish I would have killed Steve like that.
Damn.
Well,
that's for you to do.
Yeah. Hey,
y'all.
Steve.
Hey. We got a video game live stream.
I knew he was gonna
Live
fuck up. I heard it.
Live stream. Ice cream. We all scream for ice cream. Live stream schedule.
Yes, we do.
Tetris Tuesday, and next Tuesday, the Tuesday coming up, is Tetris 99 Tuesday, which means everybody out there who's watching is invited. I'm gonna put the code in the chat. You guys can join in. Tetris 99. It's gonna be on.
Damn right.
It's dope. It's dope.
I gotta remember to join
And then,
in.
of course, every single Wednesday, what do we have?
The live video game podcast.
Oh, yo.
I like the synchronization. That was
Live
dope.
video game podcast.
Damn, man. Jay just ruined everything.
Very
man.
off.
They
Very off.
appreciate that.
7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Every Wednesday. And then, of course, Throwback Thursday with who?
With Stikz, and I think I'm gonna do Dreamcast this month.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, more fire.
More fire.
You're going to do some two-player games?
I have to take a look. But I got something this tomorrow.
Because
look out.
There's quite a few.
play
There's
that
quite a
Marvel
few
vs.
two-player
Capcom.
games.
Dreamcast month.
And then Fighter Fridays.
With your boy BigChoco.
Ooh.
I'm fighting the world. If you want to fight me, I'm here.
What are you playing?
Oh, it's
This
wait.
Friday is Smash Friday.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
shit. You're gonna be happy again because me and Turbo ain't there.
Y'all ain't playing again?
Well,
Wait,
Turbo will not be back till the 3rd, and I'll be
You're not gonna
in
be there.
Huntington or Hicksville.
Sucker.
I know.
You can still stop at like
2
a
months in a
McDonald's,
row.
Use their Wi-Fi.
2 months
So
in a
I
row.
got all right, so I got to crush the hopes and dreams of the entire world. All right.
Oh.
Cool.
It's
Done.
up to you.
I
Got to do
can-
it by myself.
Make us proud. Make us proud.
I can join you, but nah, I don't think I'm going to help.
You'll help his wins. You'll help his.
I'm pretty sure everybody who's been entering recently benefits from me not being in there.
Oh, well, look at that.
A word?
Big
Is
words
that
for
what you're
somebody
saying?
who's missed 2 months. Let me
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, rightfully so. They know
I'm
why.
joking,
They
I'm
know
joking.
why.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the big news, y'all. This is the biggest news of all.
And we out.
The Indie eShop recap has returned.
It's returned.
And it's going to be live.
And it's going to be live, everybody.
Live.
You guys can give us your input live
live
every Monday
That's right.
every Monday.
of the month.
It's
At 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes.
alive.
Oh shit, that's next
Once
Monday,
a month.
right? Is that next Monday?
Yeah,
That's next
it's
Monday.
The Monday coming up.
Guys, I won't be here. No.
Wow.
Better call.
Yo, imagine I do a fucking call like, yo, I think this is good. All right, peace out.
Wow. No, I'm really excited about this, man. It's been how long? 5 months?
5 months.
5 months since
5
the
months.
last time we did an
Shit.
eShop video.
I'm lost without it.
It's,
No, it was December was the last one we released, right?
no, I think
No,
it was
before
November.
December.
That was before December because we had COVID, man.
Oh, yeah.
before
yeah,
December.
you're right.
We got COVID
You're
in.
right.
And I found some
December.
gems recently. I put one on my wish list. That shit,
Dude,
that looks crazy.
Listen, there's a
some in
ton. There is a ton of trailers that have been out in the last 5 months
And you're gonna see
of
them all.
indie games
You'll see
that
'em all.
we will all want to see, but we're gonna debut them all to you guys.
We ain't going back though. This
where?
month.
Well, maybe we might
April.
be good. We'll have some honorable
maybe
mentions.
some honorables in there.
Yeah,
There's
we'll
some, there's
sprinkle
something
some-
spectacular that we missed out on.
We're
those
gonna
months.
we're
We'll go
gonna
back.
talk behind the scenes. We're gonna discuss it, and then we're gonna reveal it live, and then you guys are gonna be able to tell us what you think. That's the best part about it.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's the
It's
dopest
fully
part.
interactive.
my left arm's getting
Yeah, man. That's because we've been here too long.
No, it's
Over 3 hours. Let me stop.
Chat's been on fire. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank all y'all.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you, everybody,
appreciate
man.
you guys. Chat's been crazy.
You guys have been awesome. Thank you, Majucel. Thank you,
Cassandra.
Cassandra.
I got the-
Magic.
No, Cassandra, not
It's
Cassandra.
Cassandra.
Oh,
It's
shit.
Cassandra McKenna.
Though she needs a song also, but it's not Cassandra.
I thought you were going to say Cassandra Magic. Wow.
Yo, he said
Casado was not here. Casado was not.
Wow.
Yo, it's amazing.
Casado was
That's
definitely
awesome.
not here.
I'm
Yo.
glad,
That is
I'm
awesome.
glad
Yo, that was
Cassandra's not in
amazing.
the chat right now. She'd be like, wait, that's not my name.
Yo,
Just like, let me withdraw that.
Hold on.
that might have to be the opening to the
Let me
podcast.
withdraw that. Let me withdraw that.
Damn.
$4.99 for you. No, but thank you guys. It's been awesome, man.
Thank you
Thank
for the
you.
super chat, y'all.
You guys know we drink on the podcast.
Yeah, you know things
And I'm
happen.
a little buzzed.
Things happen.
But
I
yeah,
didn't
things
drink
happen.
anything today.
Make sure if you haven't checked all our social media,
That's right.
check it all out.
Check out our TikTok.
Yeah, check out our TikTok. We also actually this is new. Discord.
Yes.
I have to get that. I have to get all this stuff on the
Discord is
screen.
coming soon, y'all.
Yeah.
The code will be up on our YouTube. I think it's good for like 72 hours or whatever. So it'll be up until all y'all get in there. So
Yeah.
it's happening. It's happening. Discord is
No,
happening. I know y'all been asking.
No, we're
It's
working
just-
on it.
It's just difficult to set up. It's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
stuff to go.
No,
and,
it's a lot.
And if it's messed up, listen, tell me. I'll fix it. All right.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
No, you sound like
figure
Tommy
it out.
right there, man.
It's
Be real,
I'm
man.
upfront
Tell
about
me.
everything.
Yo,
Don't
don't
let
just-
me know.
don't
Very
just tell me shit.
transparent. We're very transparent.
If y'all can't leave a text and anything, just let me know. I'll change the permissions, get y'all in there.
If there's a problem, we'll block you. What?
Just let me know what's going on.
Wow.
We got a
Wow.
bot. We got a bot. It's gonna do
Yeah.
some work. We gotta see if everything's working.
We're working it out, man. We're working it out.
I can't.
No, but thank you, everybody. You guys have been awesome. As always, you guys are great.
Hell yeah.
Subscribe if you haven't.
We got the best fans ever.
Damn right.
And we'll see you next week, y'all.
That's right. Level 857, squid on, and we are out.
Thank you for tuning into the podcast. If you want to see the full, raw, uncut madness and mayhem, click the link to the full show in the description below. See you next week.